We are live. This is Icy Mike Imperfect. The Icy Mike Imperfect podcast / YouTube stream. We are streaming concurrently because it's 2020 and we can do crazy things with the internet. There are no gatekeepers anymore. I was discussing with my son how I'm able to you don't have to worry about record labels or movie studios or anybody. No one's permission is required to do anything anymore. We're going to talk about some of that. We're going to talk about my course. We're going to talk about how I got the name Icy Mike, which is not that interesting, but it's been built up for so long and so many people keep asking me that I think we're going to talk about that. But if this is your first time here, you can actually be a caller on this show. You get the Podbean app. There's a link down in the description below. And you can actually call in and be heard, not just have your questions answered in the chat. I apologize that I was not as active in the chat last time. I missed some super chat questions. I will not do that tonight. This podcast, like all of our podcasts, is brought to you by All In Fitness in CrossFit Grenada. The reason you're not seeing them on the screen right now and you're seeing St. Jude Children's Hospital is because they're a local business and they just want to do something. And they don't have anything to sell. If you're in Timbuktu, they can't sell you anything because they're just a gym in Mississippi. So they ask that in lieu of patronizing their business, if you're not local, that you consider giving to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which is pretty cool. Sometimes I get in trouble. People get mad at me for asking them to donate to St. Jude. Like vehemently angry at being asked to donate to St. Jude. It is bizarre. That's one of the most bizarre things that has happened since I've been doing this, is people getting really, really angry about that. So why do they call me Icy Mike? Who knows? I would love maybe to get some callers or to see some comments. We're going to talk about nicknames. If you got a funny guess, I would love to hear it. Icy used to have the Chuck Liddell faux hawk. Chuck Liddell doesn't have a faux hawk. A faux hawk is when you have like hair that you push into a mohawk. I actually had a real mohawk, but it didn't go in the back. It was just here. So it was like a horse's tail, but my face was the butt instead of the back of my head. Tony Nader T1000 says, I'll donate. Not sure why anyone would be angry about that. Yeah, it's weird. I made a couple jokes early on about how you're kind of like a piece of crap if you don't. But even when I don't do that, people still get really, really mad. People get really mad at making sure that very, very sick children get medical care without having to pay for it. Zaki Unuffy has a good question. A lot of people ask this. He says, hi, Mike. I got a question. Will weightlifting make you slower for boxing? I'm going to say no. And now some people would be like, oh, my God. But if you don't know the answer to that question, like if you don't know whether or not weightlifting will slow down your boxing, then weightlifting will not slow down your boxing. It's theoretically possible that there could come a time when that happens, but when that happens, you'll no longer be answering questions like that or asking questions like that. If you're asking questions like that, chances are you need to take your ass to boxing and you need to get up under them weights. You probably need to be doing both of those things. Oh, Matt99 says, nickname an old coach gave you. Nope. Mick Kakui says, used to sell the best popsicles. No. Slim Crow says, you got that ice on your neck. Michael Johnson says, you always kept a trunk full of icy pops. I don't know how you keep those in the trunk. Julian Rowland says, you needed ice packs every time you walked into the gym. Funny piece of Icy Mike trivia. I answered on Instagram. I don't believe in using ice for recovery, which is the fitness industry equivalent of saying you're an anti-vaxxer. That's like how crazy that is. But I don't use ice. I've never used ice. And I've always been suspicious of the use of ice. And if you look into it now, they're starting to come out with actual more than bro science that says that ice might not actually be doing what people think it's doing when it comes to recovery and rest. I'm not saying that ice can't reduce inflammation. I'm not saying that ice can't make you feel better. But if we're talking about real recovery, I'm not 100% convinced that ice is really all it's cracked up to be. I never delivered ice cream. I was Icy Mike before Street Beefs. In fact, I think I got the name Icy Mike when I was around maybe 14 or 15. Maybe something like that. Ice tray, because you're cold as ice, because you chill. Spicy was taken. So a very common answer is people will think that it's because if you've seen me fight, you notice that my demeanor while I'm fighting is quite different than my demeanor than when I'm hanging out or when I'm making videos or when I'm teaching class. That I'm actually do get super duper serious. I get so serious. I do that. I have that icy glare, and I do have a pretty mean. There's a couple things that I will toot my own horn about, and the stare down is one of them. I have a mean stare down. That is true. Eyes of ice. I have a mean stare down. A lot of guys think I'm a joke until they get that stare down. Lee Brown says it was an old video game nickname. You know, he thinks back in the day when I used to game, and I did use it then. I iced people from Top Gun, Iceman. Morning ice, that's not a thing, but I get what you're saying. I was about to say icy stare. Used to freeze small animals. Good Lord, no. What? So when I was 14 or 15, me and a friend of mine, he's in the chat sometimes, a guy named Chip. We went to a friend of his house. I wasn't really good friends with the guy. I knew the guy, but we weren't close friends. And we went to our buddy's house, and his older brother had recently been locked up in like juvie. And it's not the blue eyes, because my eyes aren't really that blue anymore. His brother was locked up in juvie, and we went in the room, in his brother's room, and he had like crap everywhere. Just like tons of stuff everywhere. Tony Bananas asked if I was the only white guy in my high school. I was the token white guy in many a group. But there were other white people at my high school, but I was the only one on the bus. But no, it wasn't that either. Ice chips, no. So we go in the brother's room, and it's a mess. It's a crappy room. It's like a 17 or 18-year-old kid's room or 19-year-old kid's room or whatever. He might have been in real jail. I don't know. But our buddy said that his brother went to jail, and we were looking through his stuff. I don't know why we were doing this. We were 14, like we were scumbags. We were little scumbag 14-year-olds, and I don't know what logic in our brain led us to believe that because he was in jail, we should go in his room and look through his stuff. But that's what we were doing. And he had a belt, a pyramid stud, a 2-row pyramid stud belt. And I was like, oh, this belt is awesome. And the guy, his name was Zach. Zach said, well, you can have it. I said, really? And he's like, yeah, you can have it. He's gone. He's in jail. I don't think he was in jail for anything serious. But he's like, you can have it. You can have the belt. I was like, really? He said, yeah, you can have whatever you want in here. And I was like, really? He said, yeah, take whatever you want. He's not coming back. He's in jail. We're 14. Some people are like, LOL, what? Yeah. Yeah. Michael Johnson says, what 14-year-old isn't a scumbag? Right. All of them are scumbags. So we're scumbag 14-year-olds going through this guy's room because he's in jail. And his little brother is like, yeah, just take whatever you want. You can have any of this stuff. And he had a mic stand that I really wanted. It was a straight mic stand. In fact, it was not this one. It's not this mic stand, but I still have the mic stand, and I still have the belt. The Dark Lord, you are suspiciously close. The Dark Lord says, you hope to find Playboy magazines and shit. We didn't find Playboys, but we did find Hustlers. We found some Hustler magazines. If you guys remember what Hustler magazine is, it's like if Fight Tips is Playboy, Hard to Hurt is Hustler magazine. Oh, man. I'm going to do some YouTuber stuff real quick. Let's talk about this course. Let's talk about the course. Do you guys want to talk about the front kick focus course? Should I plug that right now? Like I tell this story, I get to the part where we find the Hustler magazines. Oh, listen. says, how do you handle dangerous people who are addicted to the rush of fighting? I think I saw that question earlier in maybe Instagram. How do you handle dangerous people who are addicted to the rush of fighting? I don't believe in those people. I don't know who you're talking about. Are you talking about in real life? Are you talking about professional fighters who do it for a living and love it? Because I've only met a couple that really were addicted to the rush of fighting, and they were all morons. They were all like emotionally immature, bipolar morons. and self-admittedly so, right? They knew that that's what they were. Right? By and large, the number of people who say they like love fighting, they do love it, but when they get in there, maybe they're addicted to the rush in some way, but when they get in there, they're all scared. They all get nervous. They're not addicted to the rush. Now, if you're not talking about competitive professional fighters, and you know what, let me qualify that and say that I'm not talking about guys at the highest level who no longer have the nerves and who've been, and some guys still get nervous. Some guys in the UFC still get nervous, obviously. There are guys that don't fit that. It was a little unfair. I'm talking about guys that you know. If you know guys like that, they are morons. They're like borderline, psychos. The Dark Lord says funny. He says have them get their ass beat. But those guys, the guys he's talking about in the gym, they're the ones who get beat up. They go too hard in sparring, get beat up, and they still don't even get it, and they don't even care. Now, there's probably dudes at higher levels of fighting that are true savages and true berserkers, that really do feel that way. But by and large, people who, if you say they're addicted to the rush of fighting and you're not talking about fighters, then we have a problem because you're talking to either a liar. I've never met someone that's not a liar that says that. And if you do know someone like that, they're not long to be free or alive. You know what I mean? That's not a thing you can be addicted to. You can be addicted to cigarettes because you can go in the store and buy those. You can't be addicted to the rush of violence and fighting. That's not a real thing. Like, if you're addicted to fighting, you go try to fight people until you get locked up or killed. So I don't know who you're talking about, but I hope that answers your question. I appreciate the super chat. So anyway, we found The Hustler. We found The Hustler magazines, big old stack of them, and they were cool, man. I was 14, the internet was brand new, man. If you wanted to look at something on the internet, man, you had to dial up modem, and you went beep beep beep, and then you navigated to your email, and you clicked the thing, click. And then you got up and went to get a snack. And then you came back, and then someone had sent you a message, and you clicked it. And then you got up to go pee, and you came back. And it was like, it would be loading. Like, it'd be like, boom, boom, boom. And you'd see the little feather of her, feathered hair. And it's boom, boom. And you see one eyebrow, boom, boom. And you see her face, and it'd be like, boom, boom, and she'd be like, and it would just stay there. It'd be like, boom, 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 and then you go do something else, like you go to the store or something, you come back, and it'd be like, boom, 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 and just as you were about to get to something good, it's like your mom would pick up the phone. So like looking at stuff online was not like how you looked at that stuff. So when we found that Hustler, that was awesome. Well, the very first Hustler magazine, it was the very first like nudie magazine I'd ever picked up, the very first issue I'd ever picked up, the very first one I ever held in my hands. I opened it up, and the first page I opened it up to was a glossary of dirty terms. And at this point, we need to bring on a caller. We're going to say two times. Two times you are live. 2 times you are live on the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. Are you using earphones?
Just I'm trying to connect them to the AirPods. I don't know, like it's kind of like going on speaker. I don't know what's going on here.
What's up?
Yeah, no, I started boxing, but I was trying to figure out which one would be more better for self defense, boxing or Muay Thai.
Whichever one that you'll go to the most and train. Probably all things being equal, Muay Thai. But
Yeah.
the correct answer is which one do you like love going to, and you'll go
Mm-hmm.
to enough to get really good and get in really good shape.
You're not
And
allowed to
then,
bring money to the
so
changing room.
the answer
Only your
is
club,
I gotta
where you're
kick
given a bag of fruit and
I gotta I gotta kick you off 2 times, but and take your question off the air. But to answer your question, you pick the one that you really really like and do a lot of it. Let's do this. I need to do this real quick, and then every once in a while I'll go back to the other one. Listen, Hayden, what's up, my man?
Nothing much, you.
Look, buddy, you need to do me a big favor.
Yeah,
On tonight's podcast, we're talking about adult stuff. So tonight's podcast is not for children. You can't listen to this one, Hayden.
that's sad.
I know. I'm sorry. It's just this one. We'll be back to PG next week. But this one,
Alright.
at least the next 10 minutes is going to be not okay for children.
Alright.
All right?
Man, that was kind of upsetting because today,
What happened?
tomorrow I don't have to go to school. Alright, so tonight I actually could stay up and
What?
I could listen to the full podcast,
Okay. All right. Then fine. You can stay on, and I'm going to do my best. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to disconnect the call, and we're going to see if I can describe this in a PG way. All right? I'm going to send this
All right.
one. Boom. I'm going to fire this one right over your head. Good to hear from you, Hayden.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hold on.
Okay. So, we got to revisit this. I was going to bring up the Urban Dictionary and explain what the Icy Mike was. So, if you take, so some people, when they see my screen name everywhere, it's Icy Mike P, and there's a play on words, and there's like Icy Mike P, right? So that's part of it. Damn. Yeah, Tim, big time buzzkill. So there's P involved. There's P. It's about P. There's P, right? There's P, and then there's ice involved. You freeze the P. I guess 12-year-olds might think freezing P is funny. You freeze P. The non-PG part is about what you put the P in to freeze it. Which, if a quick search of Urban Dictionary, if you're under 18, do not look up Icy Mike on Urban Dictionary. If you're under 18, do not look up Icy Mike on Urban Dictionary. If you're under 18, do not look up Icy Mike on Urban Dictionary. But for everyone else, if you look up Icy Mike on Urban Dictionary, the first definition, that's what it said in The Hustler. Right? You freeze the P and it's inside a device that you use. Well, I've explained it. You pee inside a thing and then you freeze it. Oh. So that's that. That's so when we saw that definition of what it was, we said that's perfect. Everyone was like, we started saying it, and it stuck. So it's, yeah, Benway. I don't even know if I can say that. But the live chat, if you're listening later on Podbean, this makes no sense. But maybe you looked it up. I don't know. Please don't do it while you're driving. So that's what an Icy Mike is. That's what an Icy Mike is, and it was just so funny that they just started calling me that. Like, I think I've said, like, oh man, that would be funny, kind of musing, and then it stuck. Travis Cook says, why wouldn't you use water for that? Because that wouldn't be as awesome. DIY with Dean says, wow, your channel is blowing up. I remember when you were at 500 subs. Man, dude, you're one of them day one folks. Jason Anderson says, pee in a contraceptive device and use it in place of the usual contents of said device. Oh, guys, be clean in the chat, please. Be clean in the chat. We do have some young viewers. Be clean in the chat. I didn't even think. Oh, my God. I should have done something different. I should have just put this on. I should have just done this on Patreon, or I should have not even done this. Let's talk about what RKM stands for. Do you guys want to know what RKM stands for? Long John in the chat, if you guys see him, sometimes you guys argue with Long John. Long John is so day one, he started out as a hater. Long John started out as a hater. Yeah, so the popsicle guess was dangerously close. So the popsicle, ew, yuck. Yeah, Tim's like, you literally opened with Hustler, and I'm sorry. I didn't even think about this. I did find out recently that a large percentage of my viewers are not children. I mean, that they are children. So if you guys want to know what RKM stands for, RKM, here's what happened. I was trying to name the studio, and it was before I knew jack squat about social media and about how to really do things. And I thought for sure that if you were opening a fitness studio, that it had to be 3 letters and like training or fitness. There's like, all kinds of 3-letter plus the word training or fitness in everywhere. So I wanted it to be something that sounded fast, and I wanted the letters to be slanted with lines to them. And I started with RPM. I was like trying to think of stuff that was RPM. And I was like, for sure RPM is taken. And then I thought of Randy Orton's RKO. So I combined the two, and I took RPM and RKO and put them together. I was like RKM, and then I searched it and couldn't find anything. There was no fitness places or anything related that was RKM. And then I kept trying to like reverse engineer what it could stand for, like realistic kinetic movement, or like, really killer mommies, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I couldn't figure out anything. Someone says rectum kisser Mike. Someone says rectum killer Mike. Okay. Rotations, rapid killer move. Yeah, I was trying to think about things. I couldn't find anything, but I was like, RKM, it just looked hard as hell. And then I got a guy to make the logo, and I was like, man, that just looks so hard. And then I was like, I can't think of any justification for it. And then I realized that my daughter's name was Reagan, my wife's name was Kristen, my son's name was Maddox, my name was Mike, and then when we had a baby on the way, we changed it to Remy. And I realized that those were the initials of all our names. But the name was already picked. The logo was already made. It was already on the mats. It just worked out that it seems like meaningful. But I was literally people like, oh, it's the initials of your family. I'm like, yeah. I don't want to tell them. No, I liked Randy Orton and I wanted it to sound fast. Patty Malarkey says, what would you name a band? Top name, first thing that come to your mind. So I've been in 2 bands. One was called The Letter Red. One was called FBX, which it's funny because when I was in FBX, it was a huge mystery what FBX stood for. But there was one band name that I never used, which was Academic Queef Rhombus. because I was in high school and I wanted to start a band called Academic Queef Rhombus. So Patty Malarkey, we could use that. So I want to talk to you guys. Let's bring in Aaron. Aaron, you are live on the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Hello?
you. You're on.
Oh, okay. I'm glad. Thank you.
What's up?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Actually, I'm looking for a little bit of financial advice as I just graduated high school.
Okay, I can help at that level.
Okay, yeah.
I can help at the high school level.
I'm not going huge into business.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I just graduated high school, and I'm from a really small town, so there's not very much opportunity with martial arts. And I really want to move to the city in Nova Scotia. It's called Halifax.
Oh wait, you're
Where there's
Canadian?
a lot better training opportunities. Yes, I am.
That's Canada, right?
Yep, that's Canada.
Okay. All right, go ahead, I guess.
And but given the virus, I've got to wait a little bit, save up some money, and I'm doing my best not to waste it. But my question is, should I be spending money to travel all the way to the city? It's going to be like a 3-hour drive to pay the super expensive drop-in fees every now and again at these clubs, or should I just be focusing my time and saving my money for when I'm going to need it while I'm living in the city? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So young guy moving to this. Okay. So I have like conflicting advice. I'm super duper big. When I was like 26 and 27, I had a bunch of money. I was the guy out of all my friends that had a bunch of money because when I was like 18, 19, 20, I like worked my ass off, and I always had money and just money. I could buy all kinds of stuff. I'd go on cruises. I would buy new guns. I would do all kinds of stuff. And I kept my rent low. My car was always paid off. I like had my money stuff together when I was your age. In hindsight, I'm glad I did. I am glad that I did. But there was a couple things that I could have done where I wouldn't have had as much money by doing these things, and I wished I had. Like I had an opportunity to move to New York City at one point when in my early 20s and live there and just like work a part-time job while we were trying to make music. And that was like a regret that I didn't do that. Everything worked out great, but I was like, no, I've got a full-time job where I wear a tie and I make a bunch of money. You know what I mean? So like there's part of me that's like, no, man, you should just hustle and grind and just save up and just always have money because that opens doors for you. And there's part of me that's like, man, dude, YOLO. You know what I mean? Do the kids still say YOLO? Is that still a thing?
Well, it depends. A small town, it takes a while to lose stuff.
Oh, right. Right, so slang hangs around longer in a small town. You don't have the new slang.
That's right.
So you're talking about a 300-mile trip. That's not a day trip, right? Are you talking about an overnight trip?
300-kilometer. So
Dude,
you guys
I
are
don't
in
know what
miles.
that is.
Roughly, that's 180 miles to get there and 180 miles to get back.
Okay, so like you go in the morning, do some classes, and then come back. And you'd have gas, and then
it's gonna cost me about $100 altogether.
100, like what is that, Canadian dollars? Are they different? Like, help me out.
It's okay. So $100 American dollars is, $100 Canadian is probably like 89 American.
Right, because our money is worth much more.
Yep.
And do you work? Do you have a job?
Yes, I do. I work my ass off. Like
That's
I
cool.
work a lot. I'm working really, really hard.
So basically, let me try to boil it down. You plan on moving to the city, and you are very passionate about pursuing martial arts. And you want to move to the city so you have more options. You want to train martial arts. But while
That's
you're
right.
waiting, the question is, should you spend your time and energy going to train like here and there, thereby putting you further back financially, or should you use that money to get you there sooner and more secure when you get there?
Exactly.
Dude, I need to know. When are you going to move? How about that? Do you have a date?
My plan, well, see, this is so tough with the virus, but my plan is to decide after Christmas. So that gives you the bare minimal of when I'll move. bare minimal is January 1st. And then the farthest would be definitely no later than September 1st of next year. There's no way.
That's a long way away. That'd be a long. So September of next year would be a long way to go without training. But
I know.
But the end of this year.
Oh, continue.
The end of this year seems like a long way away, but it's really not, man. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 18.
You're 8. You got time. If money is super duper tight, and you can't find, if you're working really hard and you're thinking about these things, I doubt that you're super wasteful. But I know young men. I train young men who want to be professional fighters that talk about buying like sound systems for their piece of shit cars and like spending money on dumb stuff, and like they have girlfriends and they just are doing dumb stuff with their money, and then they can't figure out why they don't have any, and they work. They work like full time. So if you can't find any other place where you're wasting money and it's still super tight, you could forego training, which sounds like sacrilege. There's going to be people like, no, he's got to go train. Go train, bro. If you're super passionate about it, what you also could do is use this time to get in the best shape of your life, be able to run, be able to jump, be able to sprint, be able to do push-ups, pull-ups, ab work, and just be in amazing shape so that when you start training, because you can't learn to box on your own, but you can learn to do 1,000,000 squats and run 1,000 miles per hour on your own. And then when you get there, you'll be in such good shape, you'll be able to get the most out of your training. But if it's going to be a long time, I do think it might be worth it to occasionally make a little trip. And I think that you probably could find that money somewhere, whether it's Starbucks or whether it's instead of eating at Subway, buy stuff to make a sandwich at the house. Instead of eating at McDonald's, buy stuff to make burgers at the house. You know what I mean? There's probably things you could do that could save you, 2 trips a month or 1 trip a month. And if you do 1 trip a month and really, really absorb everything they're doing and then go back and practice that thing that you learned under the eye of a good instructor, you can get something out of that if you're just so passionate about training. But you're in a tough spot. I do understand that. Basically, the question is, if it's going to be short time, you could go without training. If it's going to be long time, you need to find a way to work it into your schedule. I know you don't know because of the virus, but that's sort of the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Have you trained at all?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and I wrestled in high school. I wrestled 4 years in high school. And I'm doing like very, very basic Muay Thai. Like I just want to know how to move for when I get there, essentially. So
I got you.
My striking experience is extremely low, but I'm just trying to learn how to move, and
is there no boxing or kickboxing or Muay Thai instruction where you're at?
The closest is the closest is technically an hour away, except the guy who runs that gym has like. It's just a sketchy place. That's all I need to say. And then the next closest is an hour and a half away, but it's not it's just not the same quality as what it would be in the city. I have been there before.
Yeah, you just need to figure out how long it's going to be and can you make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know that the money's there. It's just I want to be as comfortable as possible when I move to the city.
No. So there you go.
If I'm going to move.
No, listen. Fuck that. All right? That last thing you said, that tips it for me. You're 18.
About being comfortable?
Yeah, you're 18. Do you have any children?
No, I don't.
Okay, do you have any like disabled younger siblings?
No.
Okay, so no one care. No, you're not important to anyone. Like no one needs you. You know what I mean? Like you're not. No one's banking on you being around or counting on you. Like you're not responsible for anything. Don't worry about being comfortable when you get there. Be a poor person, become a monk, be a modern day monk. You're moving to the big city to pursue your dreams. You know what I mean? Forget being comfortable and forget eating at cool places and dating attractive women. Get to the city and find you like an okay looking woman that works at Firehouse Subs or something. You know what I mean? That can feed you. Don't worry about being comfortable, like, and doing fun, cool stuff. If you're so warrior minded and you're like this monk that's making this trip to train, you're rearranging your life to be in a place where you can train harder, comfort is way, way, way low on the priority list.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But
That
I do
settles it.
need a certain amount of financial
You
stability
need a
to be
certain
stable,
amount.
so
You
I
need a
don't
certain
wanna
amount, but
regret.
not comfortable.
Right.
You need enough to put some sandwiches together, and if you're going to be training really hard, get a couple pounds of chicken a week and drink a lot of water. You don't need to be comfortable. You don't need new clothes. You need like
Yeah.
10 t-shirts and 5 pairs of shorts. You know what I mean? And gloves and wraps.
Yeah.
If you're really super serious about fighting or martial arts or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's going to be super tough. It's just so hard for me to wrap my head around with like it's growing up in a small town too. Like having it's just I feel like I have no life experience.
You don't.
It's
So
just
go
super
get
tough, but I
some. Go be
appreciate your advice.
uncomfortable and poor
Yeah.
and struggle in the city while no one is counting on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
You could go
That's really well
fail. You could go fail and then run your butt right back home to mommy and daddy or whatever you're doing now. You know?
Yeah.
You've got time to do that. I can't do that. People are like, why don't you? You've always wanted to go to Thailand. Why don't you go to Thailand for a couple months? I'm like, dude, I got kids I got one that still shits in her pants sometimes. Like I can't go to Thailand for 2 months. You know what I mean? You can go do whatever you want, man. So now's the time to do that. But don't think that you're gonna like eat steak every night in the big city and go to nightclubs with beautiful women. You're not going there to do that. You're going there to pursue a dream that's more important than any of that stuff.
Right.
So get a crappy job and train hard. Make enough money to pay your bills and keep yourself alive and train hard. There we go. Settled?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I know so. Now I know. I want to hear back from you about it too when you get there.
All right, man. I will
right.
be in touch with you.
All right, man. Later.
All right, have a good.
Listen, guess what we need to do? We need to bring on. I was too mean last week. You guys saw I uploaded. I was mean to one of our listeners. I'm a mean person, but I was too mean. Another Canadian. It's just Canada out tonight. I'm bringing on Northern King.
Oh, snap. How are you doing?
Northern King is live. Now, if you don't remember, Northern King is the reason that this tripod no longer, like the legs are all bent. Like the legs, let's see if that shows. Like the legs are all bent up on this and I can't push them back in there anymore because I crashed through my tripod. Laughing. Northern King is the guy who somebody threw chicken fat on him and he threw a tomato box at him and he snap kicked him and then he trains to wake up from fighting in his sleep and he trains to fight on a bus, but he doesn't practice sprawling. Now, because I laughed so hard, here's what happened. I laughed so hard that I fell out of the chair. If you don't remember that, I fell out of the chair. I was laughing so hard. Literally. He was explaining, after my earbuds popped out, he was explaining that they do practice some wrestling, but I didn't hear any of that. So then I proceeded to laugh in his face and abuse him for the rest of the call. But I would like to give him an opportunity, to be fair, to explain himself, because he does have an explanation of kind of what's going on with him in his training. And everyone, including me, was too hard on him. So Northern King, the air is yours.
Oh, hey, I just want to say that, like, I love being a part of the Heart to Hurt family, and I'm a big fan. So the fact that I was in a video is pretty sick.
So, and that must mean you get, like, if you're being roasted, like, that's part of it.
Yeah, it's funny. It was actually, I find it funny, like the gym that, like, I came from a lot of different types of, like, niche gyms, and we always used to, like, make fun of each other and stuff. So I understand what's going on.
Yeah. I actually had a guy during that same live stream. Apparently, I called some guy an idiot or something like that. and he said that he couldn't watch me anymore, but his son did, and he couldn't bring himself to tell his son about how I was mean to him, and it said it really affected him and his feelings, and that he just couldn't watch anymore, but he didn't have the heart to tell his son, and then he hoped I would consider that I was, setting an example for people and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, and I replied back, I said, dude, I hope your son is not as soft and as fragile as you are. Like, you should set a better example for your son, that when some strange dude on the internet, as he said, he's like, you're an inspiration, I looked up to you. I was like, dude, cool, but like, when someone on the internet makes fun of you, you shouldn't get all fragile about it, especially if you're setting an example for another young man. And here's my thing. I keep getting messages where people are like, oh, you were totally mean and unprofessional, I'm unsubscribing. And I'm like, what the fuck did you subscribe for in the first place? What video was I not?
That's your thing.
Yeah.
I know.
But it's all yours, man.
Like,
that's enough about me. I want you to explain kind of why your wrestling is sort of limited at this point.
All right, so due to life circumstances, I got a lot of injuries. But like, some of my background is I practiced boxing for a year. I did taekwondo, and I did do Brazilian jiu-jitsu when I was younger in high school. And I have done at least like 1,000 double leg takedowns. It's just that at this current moment, I kind of have weakness in my hip due to things that happened to me in life, and I can't really practice wrestling. But I do have a lot of experience in martial arts.
Right. And so practice letting people take you down so that you can practice takedown defenses out too, I guess.
Yeah, so it's mainly just striking for me. So like, I'm practicing boxing and we're doing kicking. But like, when it comes to wrestling, my hip can't really handle wrestling. I could only really handle striking.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. One of the reasons, besides the fact that I'm a little more natural at striking, is that I have a lot of lower back injuries that make
Exactly, yeah.
I can do the movements when people teach them to me, or I can practice them, but going through like tons of reps and practice and rolling and sparring with people I don't know at speed, I just can't survive that. I can't stay uninjured through 2 weeks of wrestling.
Exactly. Like, I was literally just like drilling, and I fucked up my hip flexor just from like drilling.
Yeah.
So I can't really drill wrestling, but I can drill a lot of boxing and like kickboxing. But like, I'm actually happy about the fact that I was actually like kind of got a little bit of fame, and I watched that video like 5 times and laughed my ass off. Like it was legit funny.
Yeah, it was really funny. I couldn't watch it. I haven't. When you make videos like this, it's hard for me to like watch them and think like, oh, this is hilarious. Like, sometimes I'm not exactly sure. I don't even know what's good or bad anymore. I just kind of put it out there and I just try to do the same thing. But that moment, I laughed harder at that. I have not laughed like that and watched something over and over again since I shot Kristen in the head with the pepper ball gun. That was the last time. That was the last time something happened that like I wanted to watch the video, and then I wanted to rewatch the video. Like, objectively, just as a viewer, when I shot Kristen in the head with the pepper ball, and then that moment when I fell out of that chair.
But I hear what you're saying completely. But like, would you mind if I give a few shout outs to a few channels?
Other YouTube channels?
They're already big. It's
I guess since I abused you, I'll give you a little bit of airtime. Nothing weird.
Nah. So there's a YouTube channel called Fight Your Way Fit, and their playlist is a step-by-step guide to boxing for beginners. That's really good if anybody needs a resource on how to learn how to box. There's also a resource on TikTok called Dave and Deanna, and he teaches a lot of karate, and he teaches a lot of kicks and how to change. Nah, I don't know them. I just practice their moves a lot, and me and my friends practice their moves, and I actually got my boxing better, and I did get my kicking better, because the way they teach is like in a methodical format. So I just wanted to know if anybody wants to like get some materials on training. Those are really good resources.
30,000 subscribers and about 2 million views on this channel.
So like, I don't know them, Bert. Yeah, I'm Canadian.
No, this guy, this Fight Your Way Fit guy.
No, I think he's from the U.S. He's endorsed by Everlast.
Yeah,
but he's a really good teacher.
So it looks like it's very very dry, like it's very instructional.
Yeah, but that's the way that I learn. I learn from a very logical standpoint.
Right.
And his style of teaching resonates for me the best, at least. And I did learn a lot from him.
Where is you? Where is he at? Where is he at that he
Uh,
is in this? He's in like, you know where he is? Remember in the Matrix when they were getting like booted up and getting ready to go, and they were in the place where they could load weapons and stuff? That's where he is.
Yeah.
He's just in this white. Where do you get that room?
Oh, I've actually seen his studio. It's in his basement, and he has like a large green screen.
I don't know
And,
about
like, I guess
these- yeah, and then he puts himself in this. I don't know about these short stuff,
Yeah.
bro. This guy doesn't. His instructions probably good. His instructions
really good.
probably good.
And it's free too. It's like a free boxing
yeah, and
course.
it looks complete. It looks See, it looks.
It is, yeah.
It looks.
It is a complete free course.
right.
That's why I'm
Like
shouting
it's
it out.
long form. Long videos with like all the details.
Yeah,
Bring
exactly.
it back in. It's not bad, but he does not, as the kids say, pass the vibe check. He just doesn't.
That's my vibe. He has a Capricorn vibe, you know? That's actually how I give off my vibe too. So if you want to know a little bit about me, that's my vibe right there.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. I'm glad we
Hold
could
up.
get. Go ahead.
I just wanted to tell you another experience I had, and I wanted some advice from you.
All right, we'll try it, man. No promises.
All right, so back when I was in grade 8, me and one of my friends, we got into a fight. But what happened was we always used to play with our binders. So like I pushed him with my binder. And then when I pushed him, all of a sudden this guy just kicks me in my shin, right? And I was literally just playing. So then after he starts grabbing me, and then after when he starts grabbing me, I punch him in his face with the overhand right. And I hit him like 3 times. And then after he backed up. And then after when he backed up, I kicked him in his face because I was doing Taekwondo back then. So I used to kick people in their faces a lot. And then after,
So,
this kid starts like, yeah.
how do you,
Yeah?
you used to kick people in their faces a lot, dude?
Um,
That's not a thing. That's not a thing that a person should be able to say. I used to kick people in their faces a lot.
no, okay, no. I never used to get into fights a lot. It's just that I knew how to kick people because I studied Taekwondo. So like I knew how to throw a front snap kick to someone's face. I knew how to throw a
They
roundhouse
came
kick.
at you with a binder.
Yeah, but the thing was he kind of did. Okay, so the whole thing was he started bleeding, and then after the teacher came and we got suspended, right? And the thing was, I'm in the wrong here, but at the same time, I kind of do have some justification to what I did to him because I was just like legit playing with him. That'd be like in sparring, if you're just like light sparring with someone, and after they full just punch you in your face. But I
Well,
mean,
it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. If you go pick on somebody, if you're like playing with somebody, like roughhousing or whatever, and they didn't agree to that, and then they come back at you hard, and then you beat the crap out of them or kick them in the face like you do all the time. This sounds, dude, it sounds like you, man, because look at what happened with your friend at the grocery store. Y'all were playing around, and you say he took it too far. Well, if every time
that's actually not what happened. You never let me finish the story. You
y'all were
cut me
having a
off.
prank war. You guys were having a prank war. And you guys were playing around, and he threw chicken fat on you.
Yeah, and then after I threw it back on him, and after this guy shin kicked me.
Listen to what... Listen.
Yeah.
What's the common thread? You're playing around with somebody, and then they go too far. That's what you're saying is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually am listening. I am right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, you're completely right. Yeah.
you're playing around, they're playing around, they go too far. Right?
That's why the teachers say don't play fight.
Right. But what I'm saying
yeah.
is if that is happening to you somewhat regularly, where you're kicking people in the face all the time.
It was only back when I was younger. It doesn't happen to me at all anymore. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
because hopefully you aren't throwing chicken fat in the freezer at the grocery store or fighting over binders at school or whatever. But what I'm saying is it might have been you.
it probably was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
in there, I'm saying when they tell this story, and you're like, when you tell this story, it's like, hey, we were having a good time, and this guy got out of hand. But when they tell the story, it might be, this guy was always like playing with me, and at first I was playing back, but like it got on my nerves. And it might be you, and when they tell the story, you're the bad guy. And I know this. So Northern King, let me tell you this, and I know this because when I was younger, I used to try to play fight with everybody, and people didn't like it. But no one ever said, hey, I don't like when you do that, in a very clear way. Sometimes they would play back, and then I would like, all right, so let's go harder. I'm going to jump off the roof on you this time. You know, and I was that guy. I was that guy and became aware in hindsight now as I'm older. I look back and think, man, this is more, they thought I played too much. Yeah, maybe they started out playing back, but then I never quit. Maybe that was you. To some degree, you know, maybe you contributed. You probably, what I can guarantee is that you contributed more than you thought you were contributing at the time.
So how exactly did you get over that guilt or anything like that? Like, do you feel bad about what you did?
Yeah, I feel bad. And actually I have a few friends that I look back on and I'm like, man, they were really sick of my shit. You know what I mean? I just, you can't change what you've done. You can just like use that. You just go forward, just being the best person that you can. And when I've seen them and talked to them since then, you know, we all know that we've all grown up. You know what I mean? But that's all you can do. You can't take shit back. You can't unring the bell.
There was another thing that came up with me.
Oh, like, no, we'll have to save it for another time. I gotta go. That's all the time we have today. How you tell me no?
It was just a question on oh, you're kicking me off then? All right, then.
I'll talk to you later, Northern King.
All right, take it easy.
Later. He's talking about no. Oh, man. I do want to take a little break. Listen, guys, we're late. We're late into the game. We're 52 minutes into the stream. Marcos Mora says, antagonistic friends are a pain in the ass. Yeah, and they don't know it. They think, you know what the thing is because they do that stuff and everyone laughs. Everyone's still clowning on the guy's shorts. Melvin Manhoof used to wear those shorts, but the thing was he was Melvin. You know what I mean? Like he was like a badass. Like he was a gladiator. He was a destroyer. Yeah, chicken. Ugh, like thinking about chicken fat. Just, oh God, a lump goes right up in my throat. Ugh, God. Ugh. Someone says chicken fat is flammable. So 52 minutes into the stream, I do want to talk about the course. Listen, guys. Listen. Me and Kristen talked about this. Kristen was like, how's the course doing? I said, good. It's doing good. It's doing fine. I'm very happy. She was a little concerned because I didn't do all the things that you're supposed to do. What I'm supposed to do is talk about it for weeks leading up to it and get everyone excited and get everyone like all jacked up about it and discuss it so that it doesn't sound like later I'm trying to sell you something. Make you excited about it beforehand. This course is legit. This is a real course. This course, let me put it in perspective. This course is not my standards are super duper high. Objectively, and now understand that I am not conceited when it comes to this stuff. So I'm hard on myself. This course is the best course out of courses like it that better than anything I've ever used. When I download courses that have like sparring tricks and little tips, how to set up your uppercut, how to set up your hook, stuff like that. This course is better than every single one that I have ever used. There is a link down in the description below. We worked very hard on it over weeks, refining, and we actually at one point completely scrapped the whole course and reshot 80% of it because I wasn't happy. And I've always been, if you've been around for a long time, you know that there's a couple things I don't do. I don't hard sell anything. I don't ask for anything. I don't say, hey, make sure you get merch. Why haven't you bought merch? Make sure you click the link. Make sure you subscribe. Whenever we're promoting anything or doing anything, I'm like, hey, it's down there. Let's move on. I've always been that way. I do that so that when I tell you guys something, that you know that it's true, right? This course is awesome. This course is, if you want to land more front kicks, you will. There's a setup in this course. Setup 1, the very first sparring setup. If you do it the way I tell you to do it in the thing, you will land that front kick the very first time you try it on your very first sparring partner. Nearly a guarantee. It's as long as they're not like, now I'm not talking about if you like are trying to spar a capoeira guy that you've never met before. I'm talking about your regular people that you spar with all the time and you kind of know their range and stuff like that. You start slotting in these front kick setups, you will start landing them right away. I didn't promote it for weeks. I didn't do the old like, oh, one weird trick, sparring partners hate him. And it actually is true. I think I joked in some of it, like there's a lot of sparring partners hate this sort of stuff in there, but it really is sparring partners hate it. We refined it. I worked hard on it. We reshot it. I took the techniques to other gyms and sparred with other people. I taught him to a professional fighter. He took him to other gyms and sparred with other people. We came back, fixed them. I'm really proud of it. It's a really powerful. It's not just tricks. There's a system. There's a footwork system for closing the distance with the feint, and it's all very simple. Seems simple, but there's a lot of important details in it. It's real. It's not Hammer Time. When I put out Hammer Time, I'm gonna charge like $17 for it, and Hammer Time is gonna be like half a joke when I make it. But this is real. This is super duper real. I'm very proud of it. So if you are interested in landing more front kicks and sparring, there is a link in the description down below. That's not the right one. That's what I want right there. It is $47. The people that do this for a living that consulted with me on this and showed me like how to, like told me I should be charging $97. This is not a sales thing. We're at the end of my live stream. Y'all are my people. Y'all basically my friends and family at this point. It's not a sales thing. They told me, no, you charge $97 for it. It makes even more people buy it. You know what I mean? Because it seems so much better. And I said, but when you do that, what you have to do is like 6 months from now, I have to lower the price, which I think is disrespectful to the people that bought it. It is $47. It will always be $47. There won't be promotions. There won't be sales. This course will be $47 forever, unless I bundle it with another course later, which will be different because you'll be getting that course and maybe at a discount, whatever. And maybe I'll get it. Anyway, it's $47. It's a $97 course. It's about 5 seminars worth of information. It's 2 hours of instruction, 20 different setups, like how to land punches off your kicks and kicks off your punches. 4 or 5 like long form lessons on like balance and footwork and technique. A bunch of conceptual stuff like how to introduce feints in sparring, how to practice this, how to use it to change stances, how you can take everything from the course and easily apply it to knee strikes as well. I'm very proud of the course. You need to click the link in the description below and at least consider it. At least consider buying it. Nepthu says he needs a class in Icy Mike Smack Talk. So yeah, this one's not there's so much joking around. I mean, it's not super duper serious, but it is a real tutorial on real martial arts instruction. It's not for total noobs, like that don't have any training. It's not for a total beginner. It's assuming you already know how to do some kind of front kick, whether it's a teep kick, snap kick, or whatever variation you call. We do teach a snap kick in it, or we teach a variation of the snap and we teach a variation of a front kick in it, but it's assuming that you already either know how to snap kick and or push kick. And so it's a variation, assuming you already know how to do it. It's for novice to intermediate people with some training who want to start landing those front kicks. Capiche? If you have any questions on it, hit me up. Nepthu asked a question. A couple people asked, Mike, is this class something you download? Once you buy it, can you refer to it forever? Yeah, it's like a streaming, like you stream it. Chubby Huang says, get the ripped legs like Icy Mike. No. Darren Chan says, is it so real that if Neo downloaded it into his head, he could beat Agent Smith first try? I tell you what, if Neo had downloaded this into his head, he would have landed at least 2 front kicks his first try and second try. I know that. Michael Limpicki says, Icy front kick Seagal Mike. Michael, you don't need to talk any trash because I'm fairly certain I have front kicked you plenty of times. Sam S says, imagine how different YouTube would be if influencers sold their wares the Mike way. Yes, I don't hard sell. And I do want to, I appreciate that you appreciate that. Because I don't want, I hate that where like every video, people are there, the guy's like begging you for something or telling you that you need to be doing something. Every video, it's like, buy my shirts. Y'all need to get down there and buy my shirts. I've said like 3 times ever, buy a shirt. People still buy the shirts. I want people to know that when I tell you something, when I put out something, it's legit. I don't want to try to sell you on anything. Will there be defense to the front kick? Yes, there is a unit on defense to the front kick. It's not catching it. It's not really like yes. How to defend against front kicks is in there. It's more about prevention. How to prevent front kicks, I think, would be a better way. How to prevent and discourage front kicks. Hard sell is outdated. You know, if your peeps like you, they will buy your merch. So Darren, that's true. What happens is, and Amir Aquaman says, one of the reasons I respect you is that you aren't selling a product. Right. So now I am selling a product. So do you not respect me? No, I think I know what you're saying. When you watch my videos, I'm not selling a product in the videos. And if I am, I make it clear that that's what I'm doing. That's what I try to. I don't just make videos just to sell the thing. I have to make a living. One way I like to put it is I say, I don't do this for the money, but I need the money to do it. If I didn't sell the course, I would be holding pads for soccer moms for 8 hours a day. Long John asks, did I get the idea for the USA in this hoe shirt from Derek Lewis? Yes. And I actually messaged him and as many people attached to him as I could find, sent them that shirt design and said, hey, y'all should use this. Y'all should make a shirt like this. And then they never answered me. And then I told them, okay, I'm going to make the shirt. And if you want the money from the shirt, I'll give it to you. But I just thought it needed to be made and I wanted to wear it. So please consider going and clicking that course. It's doing really well. I'm very happy with how it's performing. I want people to buy it that like really want to land front kicks because sparring partners do hate it. No one likes getting front kicked. But I don't want you to ever think that I'm like only here to sell you some stuff because that's lame. It's not long term. It's not sustainable. You can do, and if you're an aspiring YouTuber or influencer, or even if you just do want to teach martial arts, brick and mortar, face to face, my way is the long term way. You know what I mean? Don't do short term stuff, because if you hard sell and you say you got to get into my this high dollar course, they want you to charge. Actually, some of the experts want you to charge like $250 for stuff like this. But that's short term. It might seem like you'll do it in the beginning and you get this big grab. Ganja Sloth says, can I do this course if I just train at home and have a heavy bag? Yes, you can do this course without a heavy bag, because a big part of the practice is kicking in the air or using the wall or using any object. That's why the front kick is cool, because you don't need a bag and you don't need a partner to practice it. Practicing round kicks without anything to kick is terrible. And practicing round kicks on just a bag is not the greatest either. Practicing the front kick, you can practice it anywhere. And a big portion of it's practicing in the air. But yes, you can also practice all the setups on the bag. If you already kind of know how to front kick, this course is awesome for you. Oh, Darren Chan says, so like I'm an illustrator, so I do have to dabble in being a businessman and salesman. But one thing we learned at uni is if you're likable, people will hire you and purchase your stuff. Yes, Darren, if you're trying to sell. And the problem with being an illustrator or any type of artist or creative is usually you're not a good businessman, Because if the type of person is a good businessman, usually isn't creative, and creative people usually aren't good businessmen. Sometimes you can be both, but a lot of times they don't overlap. But you can be a great businessman and spend less time on your art, and then your art's not as good, and then you're a little fake, right? And you'll get this far really quick, but I'd rather get like this far kind of slow. You know what I mean? That's what Chubby Huang says. Mike selling courses. I've seen worse from other YouTubers, and they're charging some forms more of some strange kung fu style. Taekwondo lifestyle. Master Dan says front kicks are great for self-defense. I taught it to a brand new student tonight in his first class. Yeah, I actually, when I started my studio, I started doing the same thing everyone else was doing, and I taught you jab, cross, hook, low kick, jab, cross, hook, low kick, and then we went to cross, lead kick, just Dutch kickboxing or Muay Thai style, and then that's all we did. And then like the front kick was like an afterthought, or once you got those down. And I said, dude, I'm tired of running away from the karate style or the traditional martial arts style. Why don't we start with the front kick? Because you can teach somebody a front kick, and they'll be good at that front kick by the time they leave. They could hurt a person with their front kick after their first lesson. Teaching someone a round kick takes forever to get a decent one. And if you think it didn't take you, like for instance, if you think, no, I went to one lesson and I got a pretty good round kick, your round kick sucks. It takes a long time to get a decent round kick. But that's it. That's enough about the course. I'm going to see if I can take a caller. Let's bring on Reese. I think Reese has called them before. Reese.
Yes, I have.
What's up?
Hello. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so I've been seeing recently on your page on Instagram that you've been showing some clips of drills that you've been doing for your students.
Mm-hmm. Like in the stories?
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's this one drill that really helped me out in my strength attribute when fighting. And it's more geared towards grappling. So it's taking your partner, right? Either going high crotch single leg or over the shoulder, sack carry, and walking up and down for a timer.
Oh, like carrying a person?
And then once that's finished, you put them down and just have them hold their hands up for straight 1-2s for the rest of the timer.
Ooh, mixing in. Do you know what we do? So we don't teach wrestling. We use wrestling stuff. We use a lot of Greco-Roman wrestling, but it's all waist and up, like clinch fighting, like dirty boxing and like wall wrestling type stuff. We don't do takedowns, except every once in a while we practice takedown defense because I have a kind of a specific clientele. If someone came to me and said they wanted to be a professional MMA fighter, but they didn't want to do privates with our team that does like if you wanted to be a professional MMA fighter and you had time and money, we would do that. But if you wanted to take 2 classes a week and you wanted to do like everything, there's another gym I would send you to. All right. Our classes are geared towards a specific subset of people who don't want to get high crotched, but they do want to learn everything else, but they just don't want to get taken down over and over again.
Yeah.
But what I will do is have them firemen's carry each other up and down the mat.
That's a good one.
And that is a useful skill. You should be able to fireman's carry a person. Like if you're a serious self-defense person or if you're a law enforcement military, you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of having them carry during an interval and mixing that in. You put them down and then you got to do some other task like hit 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, like on the pads or on holding each other's hands for targets or whatever. I do like that.
You can also do it with like a sandbag or heavy bag.
Right.
Same.
I make them carry each other. I make them hold. We use like old karate belts, and they have to hold each other while the other one runs and hold the other person back. So we do line drills like that where they do have to pull each other or carry each other. Another one we do, you might like this if you like that kind of stuff. We'll catch a kick. You kick me and I catch your leg and then I start walking you backwards and you got to hop forwards, backwards.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Punch. Yeah, we do that too. But there's
an intense version of that exercise, not the one that you mentioned, but the one that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Where you start from fireman's carry on your knees, and you go to stand up and then back down to knees.
Ooh, I would. So with
It's
fighters,
done with a lighter weight, but if you're a
fighters,
real fighter, you do it with another fighter on your
right?
back.
So fighters and athletes, yes. A huge part of my clientele is not that though. Like the people who
I was able to stand up just once though.
right, yeah, it's not
very
like you're doing a
difficult.
ton of reps of that. Like you put the guy on your shoulders, you get up one time, and then because what happens is you run the risk of when fatigue sets in and you're dealing with an unstable, heavy weight, you run the risk of injury for anyone who's not a very young, very durable, very strong person already. So stuff like that is a little hard for me to integrate, but I do like the idea of mixing the buddy drill or the buddy carry or the fireman's carry, and then
with
into
some combos and
then
cardio
into.
combos and stuff.
So that's a great idea, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, later, bro. So Long John down there in the chat, and one of my day one dudes, he says, "Firemen's carry me, please. Straight setup for the crucifix. That's why I don't shoot firemen's." Long John's doing that. If you did this, I would do that. And then he clowned himself because we don't firemen's carry the person because they're a bad guy. We practice firemen's carrying them because they're one of our friends. So congratulations. You played yourself. Let's bring on Gizmo of Shaolin. He's called in before.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's up, dude?
Nothing much. I had two questions. One's
Okay.
a really dumb, quick one, and the other one is just kind of a. I'm trying not to make it super long because I know you're trying to burn through these calls.
That sounds like an excellent format for a
Yeah.
segment of a video. So go ahead with your stupid, dumb, quick one.
All right. What Canadian hurt you? I feel like you got it out for the Canadians, bro.
Oh, I do. I hate Canadians. Ugh, they're filthy. Filthy Canadians.
Yeah, whatever. Is there like. You're probably just clowning on them. Never mind.
So what's your real question? Oh, here's how the format works. Because you could take this snippet and you had your dumb short question that I just boom, I kind of almost breezed over. Then we do the real question, and then you end with like a callback where you really explain the first question, and it makes a nice little segment. I'm saying this for the benefit of guys who want to make YouTube videos or make content or do podcasts or whatever. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no.
Go ahead.
So I guess I'm trying to think. Okay, so I know how to start now.
Oh, you should have thought about that before
about
you
like a
called
week
in.
ago. My bad. So about a week ago, I had like a conversation with my mom.
Shit was all
about,
good
like,
just a week ago.
about like where I'm going with my life and stuff like that.
You were talking with
right
your
now
mom
I'm in
about where you're
college.
going in life?
Yeah, just because school and shit that's going on now, all online classes.
Okay.
I'm
How
in
old are
college
you?
right now. 21.
Oh, that's 21? Okay.
21. Yeah. So obviously, one of my biggest passions in life is it's always been martial arts.
Mhm.
It's what's gotten me like out of bed a lot of the time and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. Got me through like all that teenage angst and shit.
Right.
So my overall goal is I want to teach it and stuff like that. But then like my mom, she gave me like this whole thing of like, hey, I had to sacrifice some things in life and all that stuff. And like when you have kids, you're gonna have to like you're gonna have to sacrifice some stuff too.
Mhm.
But in my head, I even kept telling her, it's like, well, then I'll just work double as hard so like I can still do what I love and like take care of them.
Right.
So my question would be like, is this a good idea for like? Here's my plan. My plan is I get through school, and right now I'm studying for like medical assistant, something like that.
Okay.
And then after that, I do my, I don't want to call it that, but my real job. And then I'll try like teaching part-time and stuff like that. And then when I get to an old enough age, I can just do it full-time teaching.
So your plan is to finish school so that you can have a definite like regular job.
Yeah.
While you do that regular job, you want to try to like become a martial arts teacher and at least do it part-time.
Yeah.
And then you hope to one day be able to be a martial arts teacher full-time.
Yeah.
And your question is
do I think if that like is that like a realistic thing? Is like what freaks me out is like, what if she's right? Like if I end up
what if she's right about what?
about like like at some point in my life I'm like I gotta put it down, and then like
What? No,
because like I don't want to
she's not
sacrifice
right.
it.
She's just mad because she had to sacrifice a bunch of stuff for your dumb ass. She's just bitter because she's stuck in the house doing. She probably wanted to be like a t-shirt designer, or like she wanted to like follow around she wanted to follow around a band and get on the bus every chance she get. Like I don't know what she wanted to do, but she's just mad she didn't do what she wanted to do. Your plan is not even like that's dumb. That's a dumb question, because your plan was not like, hey, I want to say fuck it all and I just want to like go all in on my dream. And I would have been like, yeah, sure, try it. You're 21. No one cares if you fail. Like no one's counting.
Yeah.
Do you have any children?
Nah.
You have any kind of dependents at all?
No, not as far as I'm aware.
That's why your mom doesn't want you to like chase your dreams, because when you screw up, it's gonna be her problem. So you're gonna be a burden on her. You're gonna have to run back to her and be 25 and still up in her kitchen eating all the cereal, right? Eating a bowl of cereal and then finishing the bowl of cereal and go eating another bowl of cereal. That's just annoying. Dude, when my son does that, I want to punch him in his chest, and he's 11. All right, his greedy ass. He just keeps eating. So I imagine you eat a lot. And so your mother is not only now watching you talk about pursuing your dreams while she had to give hers up, you're also eating all the fucking food. So your mom's just a hater.
Yeah.
You're 21. Who cares what she thinks unless she's paying for everything, and then you have to do what she says. But
I mean,
your plan,
listen,
your plan is to go work a real stupid, regular, boring, vanilla 9-to-5 whatever job, but try to pursue martial arts. And it's not like you're gonna like not do a regular job because you want to do martial arts. That's really the only realistic way to do it. If you kind of told me I want to just go all in on my dream of being a martial arts teacher, I would have told you you're gonna fail, and go for it, right? At 21 with no kids. But your plan is like reasonable. Your plan is like your plan is safe.
Yeah. All right.
She's just a hater.
Can I hear real fast? Because you're probably gonna kick me out any second now.
You gonna put her on?
I just want to say
your mom on.
No, I'm not that much of a pussy. But like,
no, I was gonna say that would have you have a big old set of balls you put your mom on.
Oh no, she would beat my ass for that. I just want to say thank you, because I was after that like conversation, I felt a bit down, because like I'd always talk about like I want to teach and stuff like that with her, and how I would do it and how I would teach differently from like my teacher or whatever. And then I listened to the podcast about like that you're not a loser and stuff like that, and like how your mom she laughed at your face and stuff like that,
and she's one of my biggest
helped me out a lot.
Yeah, she ended up being one of my biggest supporters, but she was also real. She wants what's best for you. You know what I mean? She does want what's best for you. But her perspective is limited to her own. And now she's probably right. That's what you got to understand, is she's probably right. But as long as you don't risk your job or your career, your livelihood, or your future unnecessarily. But at 21, you've got plenty of time and you got plenty of risk you can take. Nobody's counting you. If I go bankrupt, if all this falls apart, I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 other people counting on me. You know what I mean? That are going to need to eat. Like if I screw up, there's 4 people that won't get to eat or have shoes. If I screw up. If you screw up, you just go back to eating all her cereal. That's why she's a little bit But you'll be all right. She's all right. I guess. Is she Canadian too?
No, we're Mexican.
She's not Canadian?
No.
Oh, you guys aren't Canadian?
We have family in Canada. No, we're American.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Yeah. No, right. we're the best country. The only country.
Yeah. All right. Well, your mom's not
number
all bad.
1 in COVID deaths. Let's go. All right, man.
Your mom's. Hey, did you see how I did that? Did you see how I brought it back around to the first thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, right? You're good, man.
Good job, Mike.
Go for it, dude. See you later.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, man. What a good night we're having. Let me catch up. I missed a super chat. Let me go get it. Love from Jesse. Canadians are great. Mike is just jealous. Wait, no, let me fall out of the chair. Oh, man. Emperor X says Mike fears Brett. Maybe prime Brett. Not Brett now. As long as Travis Brown's not around. I am not jealous of Canadians. I am not jealous of Canadians. Why would I be jealous of Canadians? Eee. Let's see. Let me see if I missed anything else. Neptune. Mike is a master of conversation. Sam S says, has Mike ever been to Canadian land? No, I looked at it across Lake Michigan once. I looked at it and I was like, oh, man. Spaghetti Dan wants to know, where did the whole leg muscles thing come from? It's something Sergio said in a video. Let's bring on one more caller. We'll take one more caller. Jonas Grillo. You are
Hello,
live.
good evening.
Hello.
Are you listening?
I'm listening. Are you listening?
Hello?
Oh, this is going to be good. Jonas.
Hello, are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening. What would you like to say,
Sorry,
Jonas?
man. Yeah, I would ask for advice of yours.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Brazil. Here we have a lot of martial arts academy, and there is a problem. It's like here, at least, even with jiu-jitsu, it's like people don't like martial arts anymore. They almost every academy I ever met, they have like 5 students. It's like we don't know how to bring people. People, almost everybody likes soccer, but they see MMA, but they don't like to train. They don't like to practice. Even jiu-jitsu, they have like 10 or 15 students, almost every academy. It's been really difficult to bring students to the academy. I'm a kung fu instructor from a kung fu academy, and it hasn't been easy,
Getting
almost-
people interested in martial arts is very difficult. Everyone talks like they want to train. Everyone says, "Oh man, I want to start coming to classes. I want to start training with you." Everyone talks about coming to class, but no one will actually show up. Here's the only thing that I've seen in my area. In my area, fitness is a little oversaturated. So like all the gyms are competing with, and they're all trying to like get all the clients, because everyone wants to be in charge. Everyone wants to be the head guy of their own thing. No one wants to work together with anybody. But getting people involved in martial arts, all you can do, this is all you can do. You can't you need to, don't worry about chasing new leads and new clients. Worry about making the ones that you've got the happiest people on the planet. And then they will set an example. Man, these guys love it. I've got people that love my classes that you would never think would train martial arts. And they bring friends, and their friends are not super into it. But they keep bringing them, and now maybe their dad joins, or maybe their husband joins, or maybe their wife joins, or maybe a friend from work joins. You have to work on retention first. Don't worry about leads, in my opinion. Now, McDojos that just want to churn and burn and let people come and go would disagree. But I would feel lucky to have 15 people that wanted to hear what I had to say a couple times a week. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's been difficult here. Someone
that's
wrote
everywhere,
that
man.
Brazilians don't like jiu-jitsu.
Dude,
almost most of them don't. They don't like jiu-jitsu. It's been difficult over here.
It's not the case over here. If a Brazilian guy came over here to teach jiu-jitsu, he'd have people beating down his door to take jiu-jitsu from him.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, man. Here is the jiu-jitsu guys. They like they can work with that. They can pay the bills. You know.
Well, that's because martial
They
artists and businessmen are seldom the same person. What they need to do, they need to spend more. If you really want to like help other martial arts school owners and stuff like that, everyone needs to stop trying to open their own place and everyone be the head of their own place, and people need to start working together. Because, like, for instance, I don't have a grappling instructor. Every grappling instructor I know every jiu-jitsu or wrestling coach I know wants to have his own place, but he sucks shit at, like, running a place. I've kept a place profitable for 4 years, but I don't know squat about jiu-jitsu. Why do you want to go run some other place when you could just come to my place and just teach jiu-jitsu? But everyone wants to be the one in charge. But being in charge sucks. But I appreciate you calling, man. But work on your just don't worry about getting new customers. Work on your retention. New customers will come.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Good evening.
All right, buddy. I'm gonna bring on 2 guests. Let's see what happens. We're gonna bring on Patty Malarkey and Master Dan. We've got on Patty Malarkey, who is
Hello.
As Patty Malarkey, would you consider yourself a personality?
Oh, I would. Well, first of all, I'd consider myself a gentleman.
Are you drunk?
Oh, I may have had a glass of wine. Yes.
You're drunk. We've got on Patty Malarkey, and now we have on Patty Malarkey. He wrote the theme song of Hard to Hurt called Unhurtable, which you can hear in our breaking video. And we got on Master Dan, who is a hillbilly Taekwondo instructor from my home state of South Carolina. How are you guys doing?
Was I supposed to already have a beer open for this?
Yeah. Well, Patty Malarkey's already downed a bottle of wine.
Well, no, fucking, we had 2 glasses of wine with dinner, and I don't
Okay,
drink
it's not
anymore,
called a
so I'm
glass.
lightweight.
It's called if it's the size of a bottle and shaped like a bottle, but it's made of glass, you can't call it a glass.
Well, it was 2 cups. I mean, then the cups were full.
Emperor
I mean,
Bush.
they were half the wine, but anyways, don't worry about it.
So you had 2 cups that were each the size of half a wine bottle. That's just called a bottle. Emperor Bush in the Podbean chat says they both sound like South Park characters.
Man, I don't care. Anyways.
Oh man, no. I wanted to call
Dan,
in because
how you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good, man. How are you?
Dude, great. Nice to meet you.
You too. But everybody's calling in tonight talking about their plan for teaching martial arts. How come nobody's doing it the way that I did, where you actually join a school, work your way up the ranks, and then the instructor actually takes you, spends time with you, and shows you how he's instructing the people?
There's 2 ends to that. One, it's because people want a shortcut. People want to be in charge, and they don't want to work their way up, right? But
yeah,
on the same token, it's because not everyone recognizes talent. Not every instructor is willing to reach back. A big part of what I believe in is reaching back. So when someone's coming up behind me, like if you look at all the wonderful charity work I've done for our friend Sensei Seth, I like to reach back. I like to say, hey, I'm going to bring you up here with me. At the studio, I have people that I've trained for a while that I bring them in and I show them how to teach the kids class, and I let them help me with the kids class in lieu of their tuition. And I'm like, not only teaching them, I'm teaching them how to teach. You know what I mean? And that's constantly, like, that's a constant thing. But some places are interested in being cliquish. You know what I mean? And not recognizing talent. But also, there are some people who just want to say, well, they don't think I'm the best here, and I know I'm the best because my mom thinks I'm the best, so I'm going to open my own place. Or except for in the case of the last guy, his mom thinks he sucks and he's going to fail. But everyone else gets told that they're the best, so they think they can have their own place.
Well, the parents and a lot of the students keep asking me, when you're going to open your own place? And Well, with martial arts is fun. It's a side thing, and I don't do it to make money. I actually teach for free, and everything I do in the class. And you've seen my videos. I actually talk great about the school. I invite people to come train, and I praise my instructor. It's I don't know. It's not
Yeah.
about a money thing for me.
Neither for me. Like I mean, I don't do martial arts, but for music, for me, I make music for people for free all the time. It's a hobby thing. It's for fun. You know, like
Yeah, but to both of you,
it
I'll say
shouldn't-
this. This is where we disagree. No. Let me make it clear. I don't begrudge someone that wants to offer their services to people or to the world for free. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would counter with this. When you do something for free, that limits how much of it you can do. So if you teach martial arts for free, you will only be teaching to a certain number of people because that's all the people you will have time to do. That's all you know what I mean? Because you'll have to work. You have to pay your mortgage or pay your rent or whatever, you know? Patty, do you have a day job?
Well,
So no.
It's music. Well, I do make money for music. Yeah.
Okay. So now we're getting into that's the halfway point. Dan, do you have a
I make music for people all the time for free.
Right. I'll come back. I'll circle back to that. Dan, you have a day job that's not martial arts related, right?
Yeah, I'm a maintenance technician for BMW manufacturing.
Because of course you are. Because that's totally a Master Dan type job to have. So you teach martial arts on the side of your main job. So you teach martial arts to X number of people, right?
Well, my instructor charges them. He's making the money.
Yeah, but you are only teaching when you are with the time that you're allotted while you're not working.
Yes.
Right. So if you didn't have to work that job, imagine how many people you could bring martial arts to.
Yeah, but this area is so saturated with martial arts schools, I wouldn't make nowhere near what I make as a maintenance man.
Right. So, but the point I'm making, that's you wouldn't at first. And what area are you talking about, you old hillbilly? You're talking about Greenville? Right?
I live in Spartanburg.
Spartanburg, whatever. It's all, dude. I'm on the coast, man. Yeah, it's all the same shit.
It's all the same.
Yeah. So when I talk about who we're talking and who we're reaching, you guys can't see if you're on Podbeam, but I'm pointing at the camera. Basically, I'm simulating that I'm pointing out into the internet. What I'm saying is I do martial arts and fitness full time. I don't do it for the money, but I need the money to do it. We circled that back. Now, Patty is an interesting case because Patty is an artist as well. He's a creative. He does music.
Yeah.
He does music as a passion and as a hobby, but apparently, I just found out, he also does music professionally, as in for money.
As of very recently.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought your foray into the music world was pretty recent.
Yes. And dude, like very recently. And now, like, okay, mind you, I'm my brother is paying me for his channel. Like, he wants to pay me money.
When Patty Malarkey
So
is
I'm
drunk,
doing
he
that.
turns into a lesbian vampire. Listen to him talk. He sounds
Wait.
like a lesbian
Hey,
vampire.
fuck you, okay?
He's like, my brother. Me
My
and my
brother.
We're going to make some
Yeah,
music.
yeah. No, but that's funny. All right, wait. Oh, damn. Wait, let me just sit up for a
Hold
second.
on, guys. Hold on. We got to rewind. I got to, hold on. The hillbilly and the lesbian vampire, I got a super chat. I got to answer the super chat because I didn't do it last week.
Okay, do it.
Drum Incorporated says, you're awesome. Fight Master Wong, please. LOL, JK. Thanks. Thanks. But no, I won't fight.
I'll pay
Master
to see that.
And then Mark Suarez with a good super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, artist versus business minded. You were trying to decide what to focus on. I've been dealing with the same issue. What do you think about hiring people to do the business side? That's an excellent point, Mark. So Master Dan, if he wanted to open his own martial arts school, he would have to do all the stuff that doesn't have to do with martial arts. And I can tell you from personal experience that sucks. I'm a little better at that stuff. I'm actually better at that stuff. At general overall big picture leadership type stuff is actually my strong point. Day-to-day minutia is actually my weak point. I would love to have a manager to run the business and someone to teach. And then I just do the whole thing over again in another location. That's like my strength. But you're absolutely right. And the time that you spend doing administrative tasks is time you're not doing your art or your creativity.
Right.
I've actually heard for school owners, you guys that have been talking about what me and Dan are talking about starting your own martial arts schools. I've actually heard that martial arts school owners who pay someone to manage the school long-term make more money than people who don't. Because what happens is while you're not being happy at work and you're doing the stressful shit you don't want to do, like following up on billing and doing payroll and replacing filters and the vents and doing all the like stuff that you didn't sign up to do, you hate that shit. And then it reflects when you go out on the mats, you're not your best person. But if all you had to do, so when Master Dan shows up at the dojang or whatever y'all call it, when he shows up, he's all in on that. Like he's just there to have it. Man, he's there because he loves it and he has a good time. So people love his class. That's why they're asking him to open his own place. But if you're beat down from doing dumb shit all day, that's going to reflect in your performance on the mat. So I actually think if you can swing it, the idea of hiring people to do things that you don't want to do or you're not good at or you don't like doing probably should come a little earlier than when you think, okay, when we're ready, we'll do it. Because hiring people, I guess it's kind of like having kids. If you wait till you're ready to do it, you'll never do it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Patty?
Oh man! All right. So the fact that you just brought kids into it, because like when all right, so like all about hiring people to do what you don't want to do,
right,
is kind of how I've been making money since the corona.
Right.
And
people hiring you to do their shit they don't feel like doing.
Yeah, and so basically for that, it's like for my brother and his wife and their friends have all been doing homeschooling for kids that have all been in like a very strict like lockdown.
Yeah.
You know.
And school sucks.
And school sucks right now. Yeah. And so basically what I do is like go over there and play a bunch of music for a bunch of kids.
You have like music class.
Just entertain. Yeah, but I have a bunch of drums and like we just mess around. I make songs and so we'll play the songs and we'll like try to I'll just play the same song over and over again that I made for them.
Yeah.
And we'll just try to play and beat and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
But like it gives all the parents just like, a while to just relax.
They got an hour where their kid's having a good time. It's fun for them, but they're also being enriched and they're learning.
Yeah, totally. And but what I'm teaching them is that hey, sound is fun. Have fun with sound.
Mm-hmm.
And but anyways, but yeah, I had no idea that I was going to be doing that until like until recently.
but
anyway,
you were in the right place at the right time and you were open to the idea. A lot of people are closed to the idea. Master Dan is currently closed to the idea of opening his own martial arts school. That's not something that he thinks.
I'm going to do it eventually, but right now, one of my instructor's students, he outranks me. He's 6th degree black belt, has his school in Woodruff, and that's like a small part of Spartanburg where I actually live. And then Master Anderson is in Greer. So I would have to go further into Spartanburg or into Lawrence or something.
You'd have to go like geographically, you'd have to be further.
Yeah, and with the way BMW works, I work a 4-week rotating schedule, and they can call overtime at the drop of a hat. So I can't really commit and sell people something that I won't be able to be there because my full-time job's telling me I've got to be there.
Right. So you're not open. That's because you have something good going on, and you have a family too, right?
Oh yeah, I've got 3 kids. 2 of them are grown.
Yeah.
You may not remember this, but I'm old as crap.
I do remember. You're old. You're 50. Super old.
Well,
old as crap?
He's really old. It's disgusting.
I'm old soul.
We got a request in the chat, and I know you've gotten this before. Master Dan, Reezy Ray would like you to say the words, God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it,
You know what's really funny is I married a heel.
Did you really?
So, yeah, so I used to call her brother Bobby. He did not like that.
Damn it, Bobby.
Yeah,
Damn
Bobby.
it, Bobby.
Hey, has anybody said anything about their names? Because you said at the beginning, has anybody got a crazy name? I actually don't use my name on YouTube because my wife said it would be too comical and people wouldn't take my martial arts serious.
What, Master Dan?
No, my nickname is actually Kung Fu Cooter.
Yeah, they can see it. So, yes, people have commented on that before. When I had you on the channel and I plugged your channel, the link to your YouTube channel, it's like still visible in the URL. I think it's awesome.
Huh. I wanted to go by that, but it's kind of confusing. Kung Fu Cooter teaching Taekwondo and kickboxing.
Yes.
Kung Fu Cooter is amazing.
Yeah, isn't it good, Patty? That's awesome.
Kung Fu Cooter is like top notch.
Well, here's the thing, Dan. That word doesn't mean the same thing that it means to you and I. Everywhere else, that word means something else.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I mean, it means that
South Carolina, it's a slow ass turtle.
Right. Or yeah. It's not. It can be used to mean.
That's how I did not think that's what that meant, but yeah.
No, I mean, and we use it to mean the other thing too. But it's a very common name for any. And it's funny that you mentioned that it was a slow turtle, because anytime you have a person who like talks slow or kind of is like laid back, they get that nickname. That nickname is super common. That nickname is crazy common around here, but it just doesn't fly.
Wait a minute, Cooter? Like, so you got like for kind of a slow person?
No, not slow. Like a country late. Hey, Cooter, come over here. Right? Like. Yeah. That's a nickname. Like people are Bubba.
Totally filthy.
People are be called Bubba or something like that. Like Cooter is another common one.
Yeah, Cooter. I see.
Yeah. Now it's spelled with T's, but you have to pronounce it with D's.
Yeah.
It's Cooter.
Yeah. Everybody in South Carolina has at least one. Everybody, at least from the Midlands to the upstate in South Carolina, has one friend named Cooter. Everyone.
What about Dale?
I know a couple Dales.
Yeah, Dale's a good one.
Well, we're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna go watch some Cobra Kai.
Oh. Can you plug my channel?
Yeah, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Let me get the that's what I was on my way to do. Let me do Taekwondo lifestyle. Look at this.
Yeah.
You guys look. Now Dan, have you been doing everything I told you to do?
I've been posting one a week. We had so much overtime when our suppliers started back working. I didn't have like a few weeks to record videos, but then when I go, I'm recording like 4 or 5 weeks worth of stuff.
Batch recording. We talked about batch recording
every Sunday.
We talked about batch recording. So I'm gonna put 2 links in. So I'm gonna bump. I'm gonna bump. We got Master Dan is at YouTube. His channel is called Taekwondo Lifestyle now, but his username is still Kung Fu Cooter. And we're going to do Patty Malarkey. Let me get this guy's channel up. Patty Malarkey. And we're going to get that one going. And... oh, you got a bunch more stuff up, Patty. I got to catch up. I'm behind on you, too.
Dude, I have like... there's so much weird shit on there now. Weird stuff.
Oh, it's weird stuff on there now, as opposed to before when it wasn't weird stuff.
No. Very, very, very good point. Very good point. I'd say it's actually weirder now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's good actually. That means progress.
So go look in the description down below. You will see Patty Malarkey's channel. you will see Master Dan's channel. Give both those up-and-coming YouTubers a follow and a subscribe.
Thank you very much, sir.
Patty Malarkey
Yeah,
has a bunch of
appreciate it.
nonsense gibberish songs, a lot of them about YouTubers that you know. Master Dan has a wide variety of martial arts related content. He does like long form classes on there, you know, where you get a whole Taekwondo class. So if you're like stuck at home and you want to try something different, maybe you don't do Taekwondo, right? And you're not gonna do Taekwondo. You're a boxer or you're a wrestler or you're whatever, or you're just a weirdo that drinks too much wine and plays weird music, and you're like, you know what? And you're like, I've never done a Taekwondo class. I'm gonna go do a Taekwondo class. I'm Patty Malarkey.
Hey, check it out. That's my next fucking song. You nailed it right there.
Oh,
never done a Taekwondo class. Gonna do it
with the Kung Fu Cooter.
Well,
Kung
there's
Fu
Taekwondo.
Cooter. Oh,
And there's
dude, Kung Fu
Taekwondo.
Cooter. Dude,
Yeah.
oh, there's yeah. Oh man, that's great.
Taekwondos
Okay, next.
and the Taekwondon'ts. A bunch of Taekwondorts.
I'm a
man.
Taekwondo,
All right.
that's for sure.
Well, guys,
I'm actually going to steal that and make a video about that at some point.
this has
Don't
been
worry, I'll make a song for it.
this has been
Cool.
fun. If nothing else, this has been fun. I don't know whether it was informative. I don't know whether we helped anyone. I think I did help the one guy with the mom that was on his case. She's just mad because she ain't doing nothing cool because she's stuck buying cereal for his ass. He's 21, living at home, talking about, I want to be a karate instructor. And she's like, dude, you don't even know how to, like, pay your credit card. You'll never amount to anything. I was told I would never amount to anything. I was told I would never be in a band. I was told I would never do martial arts for a living. I was told I would never do fitness for a living. I was told I would never own my own business. I was told I would never be a successful YouTuber. I was told all those things.
My dad told me I would never amount to what he did, and I would never make as much money as him. And I make over twice as much money as he did his best year.
And you know what's sad? Is that he attached your worth and his worth to that.
Yeah.
I don't make a ton of money. When I say success, I ain't talking about money. If I was making a ton of money, you think I'd be telling y'all, please go buy that course? I'm trying to eat, man. Go buy that front kick focus course.
I'm going to buy your course, and then I'm going to teach it in my class on Monday.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I'd love for you to report back and like let me know like how it played out. I think you'll appreciate it because I think what it's going to do is you'll recognize a lot from it. Like a lot of the setups and stuff are very sporty and very Taekwondo-y, but with a little added more bite, a little more like contact aggression in there. You know what I mean? And there's one particular shout out. There is a setup. There's a thing that sport karate and Taekwondo guys do, and I don't want to give it away because it's actually part of the course. There's a thing that all new sport karate and Taekwondo guys do when your opponent's over here and you're over here and you want to get over here, right? When you go to come over here, there's a thing that you all do. I'm not going to show you. And I show you how to fix it without even having to do something different. You can do the same thing that you were naturally going to do because you were scared of getting hit. You can do the same thing, but just in a more intelligent way. I'm not going to spoil it. But if you're a sport karate or Taekwondo guy, I think this course might even be just as beneficial. The course originally was like, hey, are you an MMA bro and you don't have a front kick? Because MMA bros front kicks suck. Let's fix it. But I think what I ended up doing is making just as much of a course for sport-based, point-based competitors who are like, hey, I can be more aggressive and a little more composed in the pocket with this. If that makes sense. I'm sorry I was so vague, but, you know, got to make this money so that I can...
I think I might know what you're talking about, and I believe I do it. But I will find out.
Good. I'd love to hear your opinion, your feedback on it, man.
All right. Well, I'm still planning a trip to come down there and train with you again.
Yeah. Well, I hope to see you soon. I had a good time last time you were here. But
right.
I appreciate you guys calling in. Patty Malarkey, go click his link down below. He makes funny songs. See you later, you lesbian vampire.
Bye.
And Master Dan, a.k.a. the Kung Fu Cooter.
Should I change that name?
I don't know.
I'll be the Kung Fu Cooter now.
I don't know if you can. It's hard. I think it's fine, but what we think is fine isn't what's fine anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's other forces in play. But we'll have to think hard on that. But Master Dan, his link is down in the description below as well. Y'all go give him a subscribe. And then I am obviously Icy Mike. This was Icy Mike. I gotta move my dude. I made this look super awkward because where I was sitting over here behind my logo when I pop it up on the screen. But now this is my logo. Do I look like I'm looking at my logo? I get the thumbnail from this. There we go. Y'all just saw me get the thumbnail. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for the super chats. And I hope to see you guys soon. And if you do get the course, please, please, please hit me up on Instagram or in the comments of a video and let me know how it went for you.